Hi everyone, the Lone Wolf here, and welcome to some experimentation. So I am going to make a quick book review in this video. The book is Dan Abnett's First and Only, a Warhammer 40k novel. Let's see if I can get a good angle here. That looks okay. I'm sorry about the light. First of all, my desk is really in a bad place. I really don't know what I can do with the camera in order to get some better lighting and stuff like that. But I still think it's decently cool. You know, if you look at the water right here, strange bluish glow does fit with the sci-fi theme, which this book definitely is. And yeah, I'm just experimenting with the camera and stuff like that a little bit as well. As same with the OBS software which I'm using at the moment. But let's get to this book. Dan Abnett's First and Only, a Warhammer 40k novel. The reason why I'm making this quick review is because I think it's an awesome book for people to start if they've never read a Warhammer 40k novel. Or if they're not that much into science fiction. If you start with something like 1,000 Suns or some of the other volumes, you're really up against a pretty tough first book, whereas this First and Only is, in my opinion, a great book to start out. The reason for that is that it's got a very nice story, but it's not overly intricate or overly complicated or anything like that. It's a story you can definitely follow from start to finish. Like any Warhammer 40k novel, it gets awesome action in my opinion. Especially what I liked about it is, despite the fact that you're focusing on one Imperial Guard unit, which makes the whole story a lot more accessible. You know, it's a lot easier to connect with the characters in the book, to understand their feelings and their motivations and all the struggles they have to go through. When you read about Astarte's super soldiers, that's a lot more difficult. But the action is great, and despite the fact that it's basically a book that focuses on one unit, the writer does an awesome job of expanding the battlefield and giving you that awesome sense of scale that you get from Warhammer 40k. It's just all about the war, and yeah, it really does a good job of keeping the focus on that one unit, Gaunt's Ghost. I'm not going to spoil anything, but he also expands the battlefield in a nice way so that you get a good sense of scale, that there are really planetary wars that are happening in that book. So it's pretty good in that sense, I think. Like I said, it's a good solid story. It's a very smooth read. I read this in 4 days, just reading casually in the evening for a few hours, so I really did not have to struggle with the book in any way. And all those elements combined, I do think that makes it an awesome book to start out with, either science fiction or Warhammer 40k. There is one death in the book that I'm not really satisfied with, but other than that, absolutely no complaints. The story meshes well. There are no plot holes or anything like that. It's a very, very solid book, and I would highly recommend this to anyone that just has no experience with Warhammer 40k books, or is not so much into science fiction but wants to give it a go. I understand there are some people that don't really like science fiction or have a hard time connecting with that genre, and I think this book Warhammer 40k First and Only by Dan Abnett, I really should put it right in front of the camera, is an awesome book to get you started, in my opinion. So yep, there you go guys, quick book review, not spoiling any of the story, but I really enjoyed the book, and while I was reading through it, I thought this is something that I would recommend to anyone that wants to start out learning about Warhammer 40k novels. So that's why I made the video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.